again, and welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Aletta, aka Hamilton Mike, and Brian's not here. He's still on vacation, for crying out loud. Brian, the Ranger Retard, still on vacation. Brian, if you're watching, hopefully enjoy yourself. Today we're going to pick our weekly winners. Well, at least I am. Brian's not here. He would call him. His winners would be wrong anyway, so I'm going to pick them for him. Let's start down the list. Start those San Francisco 49ers going to Buffalo to play those Buffalo Bills. You know, Kaepernick's going to be starting this week for San Francisco. Buffalo coming off a big win last week at the LA Rams, looking like the Buffalo of old. +5 in turnovers in the last 2 games. And again, 49ers going west to east. You know how I am about that. I'm going to take those Buffalo Bills. I think they can pull this one out. I think San Fran stinks. I don't know how many games they're going to win this year, but they are struggling mightily this year. Kaepernick not going to make that big of a difference. He hasn't played in forever and a day, so I don't think he's going to make a difference. Take the Bills in the win there. The Eagles and the Redskins. This game could go either way. RFK. FedEx Field, tough place to play for Washington, especially for the Eagles going down there off a loss to Detroit last week. Redskins coming off 3 big wins last time at Baltimore, although Baltimore I think kind of blew that game. Tough place to play Washington. You can go either way. Jordan Reed probably not going to play. You know, 5 or 6 concussions. We can only hope he's in good health overall for that game. But I think I'm going to give a slight nod to the Eagles. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think the Eagles are going to pull this one out in Washington. The Browns and the Titans. Boy, this is one you can't wait for. Fortunately, DeMarco Murray for the Titans is having a good year. Todd Sharp is having a good year for the Titans. The Browns, on the other hand, are the Browns. The quarterback situation is in flux. Terrell Pryor is playing well. Crowell's a good running back. Again, Browns and the Browns are on the road. The Titans. Mariota hasn't been making mistakes as well. So this could be a tough one either way. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to go with the Browns in this game. This is a bad game for both ends of it. I just think the Browns have to win one. And even though they're on the road, this could be one they steal. This is an opportunity they can steal, so I'll take the Browns. And yeah, Michael Henshaw, I'm taking the Browns. Baltimore at the New York Giants. Baltimore, tough loss last week to Washington. Giants haven't played well the last 2 weeks. Excuse me, had some tough competition. Excuse me. Oh, need some more sleep. I got to get juiced up before this show anyway. Sorry about that. The Giants haven't played well in the last couple weeks. You know, losses with Green Bay and some other ones. The Ravens lost last week against Washington. They probably should have won if they didn't fake the kick for whatever reason. I'm going to take the Giants in this one, even though the Baltimore is due. I think they're a good team. Flacco's having, you know, a decent year, even though we lost Steve Smith. I think the Giants defensively now at home have to jumpstart this team. This is a must-win for the Giants. They got to get back on track. I'm going to take the Giants at home. Panthers and the Saints. Boy, if you ever thought there would be 8 points in this game, what's the over? 78 in this game? Cam Newton should be cleared to come back for the Panthers, so I'm assuming he's going to be back. And you got Drew Brees, always solid at home. This game, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Let's put the light on. Up, Mike's tired. Let's put the light on. Anyway, this should be a definite shootout, but I think the Panthers are going to win out here. The Saints, you know, defensively are not a good team. Carolina hasn't been that good of a team defensively, but I'm going to give the nod to Carolina just because I think in a scoring war they can outscore the Saints. So take it to the Panthers. Jacksonville and Chicago. In Chicago, you know, Brian Hoyer has played well in the last 3 games. He's had 300 yards passing. Jacksonville, biggest disappointment, and we're going to have to call our buddy down in Jacksonville, or excuse me, call our buddy out in California and talk about the Jaguars because, man, they are struggling mightily on defense and moving the ball offensively. This game, I think, is pretty simple. Brian Hoyer's playing well. You got Jordan Howard, who's running the ball well for them. And Alshon Jeffrey, a contract here. I think they're going to do well. Jacksonville lets up a lot of points on defense as well. So I'm going to take the Bears as a home winner in this game. The Rams and the Detroit Lions. Interesting because the Lions had a big win last week against Philadelphia. They're still home. The Rams had a big loss at home against Buffalo last week. Actually took the Rams apart. I think the Rams can do some damage to the Lions, believe it or not. I think the Rams go into Detroit. Remember, the Rams are top of that Western Division right now, so you can't count the Rams out. Even though you want to think they're the Rams, the Gurley's having a slow start. They are playing well, so you can't knock them for that. I'm going to take the Rams over to Detroit Lions. I think I think the Lions are smelling themselves a little bit after beating the Eagles last week. They come down to earth this week. The Steelers and the Dolphins. Boy, is this a mismatch. You're looking at the line right now at 7.5 for the Dolphins. I don't think it's enough. This is an easy one. Steelers heading to Miami. Maybe get a little bit of a tan. You know, I don't know how Miami's going to be stopping this air attack. You got Mario Williams down there in Miami. They're an absolute mess right now. Kiko Alonso, I think, leads in tackles. That's awful. I'm going to take the Steelers to go down and just bury Miami. So that's an easy one. Sorry, George. The Bengals at the Patriots. This is going to be a tough one again for the Bengals. Boy, whoever made the Bengals schedule gave them no favorites at all, because here's a Bengals team that's playing some good competition. They played Dallas, they played Denver, and they played a lot of good teams last year. For a team that got bounced in the first round last year, they had into a New England team where Tom Brady, big chip on his shoulder, ready to screw the league, like I always say. Throws for 400 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Boy, he looked real rusty last week. I think I'm going to stay with the Patriots, even though I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Bengals can hang in it a little while, but Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I'd love to see who's going to beat him this year. I'm taking the Patriots at home. Chiefs and the Raiders. Raiders team at home, normally good, and offensively, normally good. Offensively, they are still not a bad team, but defensively, they can't stop anybody right now. And here comes the Chiefs team with Alex Smith at the helm, who's playing well. Excuse me, Travis Kelce, you got Macklin, you got Spencer Ware, you got Jamal Charles. You got a lot of attack. You got a lot of weapons on that team. Not that the Raiders don't with Amari Cooper. Yeah, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper. A little craziness. Amari Cooper. You got Washington running the ball. You know, Walford at tight end. I don't think it's enough. I think the Chiefs come in there and win and in the black hole, which is a tough place to play. But I think the Chiefs can do it, Andy Reid. That's right. Time is yours. I'm taking the Chiefs, still in the Raiders. Falcons at the Seahawks. Falcons have just been rolling right now, and they're playing well. Another big test, a Western swing. They just got done beating Denver, stayed out west, and now they're going to play Seattle in Seattle. Seattle's a team that, you know, maybe a slow start at the beginning of the year, lost to the Rams. Russell Wilson didn't look like Russell Wilson, but since then they picked it up. Doug Baldwin getting involved, Jimmy Graham starting to be the monster that he was supposed to be. I like the Seahawks at home. I think, again, another close game. Atlanta hangs into it for a little while, but it's tough to beat Seattle in Seattle, folks. Another West Coast trip for Atlanta. I'm going to take Seattle in that win as well. Cowboys at the Packers. Big decision coming up for the Packers as the weeks go on. Romo getting ready to get cleared to come back. Do you go Romo? Do you go Dak Prescott? I think you got to stay with Prescott for now, but we all know how Jerry Jones is, folks. Dallas obviously has Dak Prescott in this week, and they are playing in Lambeau. Tough place to play. Green Bay doesn't look like the Green Bay of old, but you know what? They're still going to get the job done. They have Rodgers. They have Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams. They have Lacey back there. I think Dallas is biting off more than they can chew. If they can go into, I promise, this is the last one, folks. If they can go into Green Bay with Dak Prescott and win this game, there's no way I think Romo comes back. But in the same sense, I don't think Dak Prescott knows what he's walking into in Lambeau Field. Close game. I think the Packers win this game by a little bit. Dak Prescott should stay. No doubt in my mind. The night game is going to be the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. Boy, should be a defensive field to showcase in this game. The Colts with Frank Gore having a good year. Andrew Luck still, I think, trying to find his way, but you know what? T.Y. Hilton still finding his way downfield. Moncrief there. You have Dorsett. You have some weapons for the Colts. Defensively, they're still the Colts. They're still allowing some points and, trying to outscore opponents. But Houston's a mess right now. And actually Hopkins right now, Lamar Miller, you got Osweiler struggling a little bit. Even though they're home, I still think Houston is going to struggle in this game. Colts by a little bit in this game. This should be back and forth all night, but I think the Colts edge them out in Houston. Take the Colts. And the Monday night game this week goes New York Jets, Jets, invade Arizona to take on the Cardinals. And let me tell you something. Before the season comes, you'd be looking forward to this game defensively with the Jets and the Cardinals, but as of right now, the Jets are struggling on defense, and the offense for the Cardinals is struggling mightily with a backup quarterback. This game could go either way. I think you got to go with the Arizona Cardinals, though. Just defensively, I think they can get back into this, and Fitzpatrick's been struggling mightily this year. Now that Eric Decker's out, you do have Anawu going to play in there. Not Iniwa, yeah, but you know who I'm talking about. At wide receiver, going to take the place of him. You always have Brandon Marshall back there. You know, Forte in the backfield. Bly Powell is a backup to him. I just don't see the Jets coming out of this funk in Arizona. If they were home, well, it could be a different story, but I just don't see it, folks. I think Arizona wins another close one. A lot of close games this week. I promise it was the last one, but just one more, and that's it. I promise. So that's all the time we have for winners. Hope you enjoyed it. By myself, I apologize for the yawning. Just got to get some more sleep. It's just a fact. Keep an eye out for us. We got some good things coming. Remember to follow us on Twitter at the Sportsbox Show. And for crying out loud, please look at the Facebook show, the Facebook page, the Sportsbox. We've got some great stuff on there. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube page, just go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a free click. You'll get the new updates. You'll get the information when it comes out there. You'll know when we put some new content on there, and you'll be informed. Because remember, at the Sportsbox, the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.